and looking what I'm doing, if it's worth reporting me. But no, it's not. I'm not a spy. Welcome back to Ocean Flower Island, world's largest artificial island. I'm back here on the biggest man-made island in the world, 1.5 times bigger than the Palm Island in Dubai. And a lot of the areas are actually kind of abandoned, and that's what we're gonna explore today together. And I'd say we're gonna have a look around today and see what else we can find. They planned on building a huge international mall here on this island, and they actually did build the mall. It's right down here. It's absolutely massive, though from what I've seen they never finished this building. The outside might look finished. I mean, there's like a hole up here, but the inside is a construction site. Let's have a closer look over here. It's just so eerie because there's like no one around. But look at this, it's like all like locked off. Didn't even finish the entrance down here. We can't see much here, the glass is pretty dirty. But it's absolutely massive. They probably spent millions of dollars just on this building alone. The 3 islands together cost almost 25 billion US dollars. Here's the entrance. It never opened its gates. So I don't think the planning was very good for this whole project. They built these 3 islands. It opened in 2020, and now most of this island is abandoned, empty, or not even finished. So there's a car going. There's also people sleeping down there in the shade. Workers taking a nap during their break, so let's not disturb them. But just look how big this mall is. And now it's just standing there, unfinished. I don't know if it's ever gonna be finished because the real estate developer Evergrande went bankrupt in 2023. So I'm not sure if anyone is ever gonna finish all of that. Maybe once more money is coming in, more tourists are visiting this island, maybe then someone will finish the construction sites down there. But the question is just, will there ever be enough tourists bringing money in, because there's just no one around right now. The park area here is huge. It's actually very well maintained given that there are no people here. They cut all the bushes very nicely. There's like lights in the trees, so that looks very nice. Let's have a look what's over here, because I saw there's a staircase leading down that way. Ah, that is an interesting sign. It says Civil Air Defense Access, staff only. We also have Russian and Korean here. So they have a civil air defense shelter down there. That is actually very interesting. Let's go have a look down here. Who are they thinking is gonna attack here? Okay. There's a lot of this fluffy stuff from the trees. I didn't expect to go on any urbexing adventures, so I don't have a flashlight. So my phone is gonna have to do. I'm kind of scared of spiders. Oh, the smell. It smells very damp. So the floor is all flooded down here. It rained a lot last night, and here we have like a whole shelter. Yeah, also someone's like watching us probably right here. So let's head back up. Because it's China and there's always someone gonna watching, especially if there's a Laowai with a camera walking around in a civil defense shelter. Over here we have a little park area though the water down here does actually not look very well maintained. Look at all the stuff growing in there. There's some trash. There's a coconut in there. I definitely wouldn't want to fall into there. That's even worse than stepping into the still water in the air defense shelter. Here we have a little sign. So it's a mist system. So apparently there used to be a mist system here, creating mist. Right now we only have algae and still water. No mist. Over here, look at this. This used to be a water playground for children. I used to play at these when I was a child. I think you can like spin these things, and if there was enough water in there, it would transport all the water up here. Right now the water level is too low, and the water is also pretty gross. This place is just so fascinating. They've spent so much money on building these artificial islands here, and I feel like nowadays everything is just so like not maintained. It's like overgrown. The water is pretty dirty. There's like no one here. So I think some areas of the island are probably more busy during high season, which I think is around November till April. Right now we have May. But still, I don't think that even in high season many people travel to this artificial island. It just doesn't look like they will fix up these water pools for high season. It looks like this is just left like this, left to rot since months or years. Here we have an old elevator building. That one goes probably down to the garage, to the parking. There's like huge underground parking spaces here on the island. But let's see. Yeah, of course, that one's not working. That sign probably says out of order is my guess. Yet at the same time, they perfectly cut some of these bushes. Some of these bushes are perfectly well maintained, while at the same time the water pools right next are like overgrown with algae and like rotting. This place is just so strange. There's a map here. So straight we go to the sports facilities. Oh, look at this. There's some facilities over there. That looks like there was an electric car going up there. What is that? Let's have a look. That looks interesting. Also, there's some outdoor areas here. Oh, what's happened to these letters? Are they supposed to be laying on the ground like this? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. I'm actually so confused what's happening with this place. But let's have a look down here now. Here on the map it says it's an adventure area. Well, I don't think there's any adventure happening here anymore. It's all barricaded off. I think this sign probably says do not enter, do not climb the fence. That's the adventure area. To be honest, this place could probably be in use during the high season. Down here we have another huge building in the same architecture as the shopping mall. It looks really sci-fi. super modern. You can see this here. This is all barricaded off. The roof is actually oh, look at the shape of it in there. So the roof here is all broken. Look at this in there. It's a huge building. Huge. I think these buildings down here were like for concerts. Some of them might be in use. I think there are some concerts and shows going on here on the island. But it doesn't look in very good shape. This building here behind me is not in use for sure. Over here, I think this is the Sports and Activity Center. Let's see if that is opened. According to Apple Maps, it is supposed to open at 2:30 in the day. And it actually doesn't look locked off. They didn't put the big bike locks there as they did for all the other big buildings. Maybe it's open, maybe it's still in use. It's a swimming pool area in here. There's no water in the swimming pool. So I don't think it is in use anymore. It's getting kind of windy here. I'm at the backside of the sports center. I want to see if I can get a better look. But I think here we can get a better look inside. So it's a huge swimming pool. Is it an Olympic-sized swimming pool? Maybe. But yeah, like so many other things, it's not in use anymore. Also, look at this side. We have this very vast empty space down there. So the Ocean Flower Island, the middle island of the 3 islands, is shaped like a flower with 5 petals, and this here is the biggest petal down there. The original plan was to have like a castle down there and like big buildings. Not sure if it's like hotels, living space, or if it's like entertainment venues. But whatever it is, they never realized their original plan. It's all empty now. It's just an empty park area. It's not even a nice park. It's basically just an empty grassland with some palm trees. I'm only feeling slightly watched. Look at all the cameras up there. The thing is, China usually doesn't really like people, especially foreigners, sneak around at places they don't really want people to see. And I think this place here is probably one of those places that China doesn't really want the West to see, because as of now it is not a successful project. I don't think. Most of the stuff is empty. They spent billions of dollars on it and there's no tourists coming. This was planned as a huge international tourist destination to develop the island of Hainan for international tourists, to attract people from all over the world. And this clearly hasn't really worked out as they wanted it to work out. Over here there's like all these bikes. They're all retired. So let's head back to the street, I think. Here's the security booth. The door's not even locked. We actually have a very nice playground here. There's some water down here. That's because it rained a lot yesterday. Rainy season is about to start next month. And I think right now we're in some sort of transition season. It's a bit rainy, but it's not too rainy. Yeah, but this is a nice playground. I would have loved this place when I was a child. I don't think you can use it anymore though. Again here, no entry. It's all locked off here. And you can see up there it's pretty rusty. The slides up here, everything's like rusty. The paint is coming off. It's not that well maintained over here. That's pretty sad. It's a nice playground. I do understand why they shut down the sports center with a huge swimming pool, or why they never opened the amusement park. That stuff takes money. It takes a lot of labor to maintain places like this. I'm not sure though why they locked off this whole playground here, because I feel like this is a place that doesn't need as much maintenance. Running a playground doesn't cost nearly as much money as an amusement park with multiple roller coasters or an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So the fact that they don't even maintain this playground here, that they leave it abandoned, makes me think this whole island is just not profitable at all whatsoever. So now I'd say what we're gonna do next is we're gonna have a look to the other island. I'm gonna call a Didi a taxi, and then we're gonna see what we can find over there. I'm here on the third island now, and from what I see so far, it looks pretty nice. There's a couple of shops around here. They seem to be open. So here we have some shops, some restaurants, and I think in here we have offices to rent out all these apartment buildings. So if you want to buy one of the apartments, you can come here and buy one. There's a nice little park area down here. It's pretty quiet, though the office over there selling these buildings looked pretty close to me. And I'm already feeling like so watched here. And I'm not talking of the cameras that are everywhere. I'm talking of the grandpas that walk the streets or ride on their bike. Because whenever there's like an older man, like I'm talking about grandpa age, driving by, I am getting observed. And I wouldn't be surprised if the local government already got a few calls from locals reporting a suspicious foreigner walking with a camera. Most of the apartments are not occupied, I don't think. They have really good public transportation here. There's a bus station right here. And I see the public buses going back and forth. So that's actually really nice about China. Like even here in this place that's mostly empty, there's really good public transportation. I'm just feeling so watched. There's no sidewalks here. I don't think people usually walk here. People have their cars or have a driver, a Didi, a taxi. They drive into their gated communities, get dropped off right in front of their building. But no one's walking here. So I guess that makes me just even more suspicious. Every car driving by, you can see how the driver is like slowing down, watching me and looking what I'm doing, if it's worth reporting me. But no, it's not. I'm not a spy. I know there was a big scandal a couple of years ago because some of the buildings didn't have a permit. Therefore, they weren't allowed to be there. So it was a total of 39 buildings, and the government ordered all of these buildings had to be demolished. These news actually made it to Western media, interestingly, though I don't really know what actually happened in the end. If the right people got paid off, if they were able to obtain the necessary permits, and I'm not sure, maybe they got demolished, maybe they solved the issues. I don't really know. But you can see all of these restaurants down here are full. Wow, it's getting so windy now. There's a whole family in the car driving by. And Literally everyone's watching me right over there. It's just so weird. And everything here is closed down. I'm just having such a strange feeling with the amount of people watching me in this super strange place with all of the restaurants and shops down here just closed, just shut. This is just such a strange place. Let's have a look down here. So this place gets weirder and weirder. Like here, literally everything's abandoned. Some of the buildings over there are finished. Some of them are, like this one here, not finished. Wow, look at this. It's like a whole abandoned street. That is literally so spooky. This one here isn't even blocked off. Look at this. Never finished. Just a construction site. Of course there's camera here behind me. I might be worried for no reason, but you know, it's like China and you always hear these stories, and personally never made any bad experiences here. Here another one. But yeah, you know, you still don't know. You still never know. Up here, this is all construction site. They did put the foundation here for buildings to be built in the future. This is all like abandoned. And then we have these huge towers. I mean, it's definitely not forbidden to walk here, but it's just very uncommon for a Westerner to be here with a camera taking videos of this place, because there's like no foreigners here at all. I don't know if there's ever been a foreigner, a Westerner here. Maybe some Russians, but I don't think Westerners. Over here we have also a huge empty area ready for development. So in a couple of years, once all these apartments are sold out, once all of these towers are occupied, maybe they're gonna continue building. But I think for now, as we can see here, construction is on hold. I guess also somewhere here behind all these fenced off areas, there's probably the ruins, the remains from 39 demolished towers. 39 demolished towers. That's insane. Just think about how many apartments that is. So a few of these places seem to be open, or look as they used to be open. Not anymore. Everything's locked off now. Anyhow, this lady's been watching me for a couple of minutes, so I just greet her to show her I'm a human being, not here to do any harm. I'm just very curious. I think the local government is getting a lot of calls today about a white girl, blonde hair, with a camera. Look at this over here. All the rubble in this empty area. This might be where these towers used to be, the towers that didn't have a permit and that got demolished. So I'm not sure about this. This is just my guess. There's another tower unfinished in front of all the rubble over there. So look at this. I do think this is probably the place where they demolished all these towers. Over there we see the huge castle hotel on Ocean Flower Island. Okay, I think guys, oh, it's so windy. It almost seems as a sign for me to head back. I think I've been suspicious enough. I've scared the local grandpas enough today, and it's time to head back to the hotel.
关注我，看尽国外热门视频。